SayPleasePodcast. I'm Amanda.
And I am Deidra.
And today our affirmation is, life is beautiful and so am I.
Amen. Amen.
Very nice and simple.
Very relatable. Yes. The Say Please podcast is sponsored fully by us, two girls pursuing their passions by leaning into their learnings and spreading positivity, of course. Oh, our word of the day. Ooh. Our word of the day is accountability.
Accountability.
Yes. Have you ever been accountable before, Amanda?
I'm always accountable, probably to a fault.
I'd rather it be that side versus the other, never accountable.
Yeah, that's an important word of the day, especially for the new year.
I think it's very important. Accountability has changed my life, and I'm going to tell you the definition of it. Please excuse me for technical difficulties. Accountability is the state of being answerable or responsible for one's actions, decisions, or products.
Yep.
It can be personal or I was going to say pubic. It can be personal or public, and it can be applied to a variety of contexts, including governance, ethics, and the workplace. It is the fact or condition of being accountable. Responsibility. Their lack of accountability has coerced public respect. And I wanted to also read this other definition of what accountability means, because it is so important to me. Accountability is an assurance that an individual or organization is evaluated on its performance or behavior related to something for which it is responsible. The term is related to responsibility, but is regarded more from the perspective of oversight. Amanda, what does accountability mean to you?
Accountability to me is being aware of where I'm currently at in relation to where I want to be, who I want to be, what I want to do, and then taking stock of the part that I've played.
Amen.
And or even in taking accountability in a mistake that I've made or a situation that I'm in. It's what are the factors that I contributed to where I'm at? What was in my control that I either did or that I didn't do to get me to where I'm currently at, or to get me away from where I'm trying to go. I want to say it's taking responsibility, but I don't want to try to define what accountability means to me with another word that you would have to define. But yeah.
And while we're here, let's look up responsibility.
Yeah.
What does responsibility mean? Because I think people are so limited by their own perspective that sometimes the definition doesn't truly apply. And that's why it's so important when I'm journaling to start with the vocab, start with the definition of a word. And the responsibility definition is the state of being accountable for your actions. Wow.
So yeah, okay.
Wow, you're kidding me. Oh my,
they're the same, kind of, I guess.
I never looked at it like that. Yeah. I never compared responsibility to accountability. Oh my God, that's kind of beautiful. That's beautiful. Because I used to always say I avoid responsibility, because especially in long-term commitments. That's why I also don't like animals and boyfriends. it's responsibility. And you're so responsible. So it's very interesting to me that is also used, accountable is used in the definition of responsibility and vice versa. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It can also mean having authority or control over something or someone. And it can also mean having authority or control over something or someone. And that's what being accountable truly is.
Yeah.
Is being in control and having authority over yourself, being accountable. We all have to be accountable. And it's the responsibility.
Yes.
And with great power comes great responsibility.
Just really looking at the part that you're playing. Because in every single situation, you are playing a part. I don't care if someone walks up to you and punches you in the face for no reason. how did you get to in that place where that person was able to walk up to you and punch you in the face? Like, you played a part in that situation.
And I'm a numbers person, so I stopped believing in right and wrong. And I would say, like, in that situation, like, let's say they were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, I'll give them 2% of the blame, like 2% of the accountable. And this is a hypothetical situation.
Maybe it's 0.001%, but it's still like you played a part.
I view it like when we were talking about givers and takers, and we talked about our one friend that babysat for our old coworker, and the coworker was a taker, our friend was a giver. She babysat for our friend, and the friend never paid her. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it? We all play our parts.
I played my part. Like, well, yeah, I played a part in
Spoiler
that,
alert,
sure.
It was Amanda. But it's not all your fault. It's not. I'll give you 20% of the blame. I'll give you 20 because she's wrong for that. She's 80% wrong. But we all play our parts in things. You know, like it's having like, and I'm not saying like have a backbone, but like standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I take accountability for the fact that I did not clearly state my expectation that I would like to be paid. Please pay me.
But she offered.
She just offered to pay me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that would be great. Thank you."
And that's why.
And then she didn't do it, but I also like didn't say like, "Yes, thank you. Yes, I will do this if you will pay me." I think she thought because we were friends, like maybe she didn't have to pay me, but but I don't know. I don't know. That to me, like, no, like that's still like my time is valuable, and
so valuable,
and that's work. Babysitting, that's work.
We are
because I had to entertain. It's not like they just sat and just watched TV while I just screwed around on my phone or whatever. I had to entertain, so it was a lot, and I should have been compensated in some way.
Absolutely, and
but whatever.
I don't know how you feel about kids, but as me, who is a 30-year-old child-free, stress-free young adult,
I don't like kids.
I don't like kids. I like them.
I like them just fine, but they are
you're not
work.
doing it for fun. It's work. It's work. You're not signing up for like, it's not your sister. It's not your cousin. It's not like the new grandbaby in the family. No, this is a random chick you work
just
with.
Like, you know, like with my professional mermaiding, like I have a neighborhood pool, and my grandmother's always saying to me, Amanda, you should put on your mermaid tail one day and go over to the pool and so the kids can see you and I'm like, no, that's me going over there to do work for free.
Amen.
Like that sounds all nice and like it'd be fun to be like, to show the kids a good time. I'm a mermaid, but like I do that and get paid. I'm not gonna on my days off go over to the pool to entertain kids for free. That's what I do for work.
Good job. That's knowing your worth. Good job. I love it.
You know, like I'm not going. If I happen to be over there with my mermaid tail, like practicing, and a kid's there and they want to say hi to me, that's fine. I'm not going to ignore them or whatever. But like, I'm not going to go over there with the intention of doing work for free.
Yeah, and even the best intentions. Like, let's say you did go over there and you wanted to make the kid's day. Let's say you get a bratty kid or something bad happens, and then it's like, and the situation turns negative out of nowhere because you never know, especially kids, people, parents, like circumstances. You never freaking know.
Some parents, they don't care. You'll have a kid bothering you and not leaving you the hell alone, and the parent doesn't say anything because they're like, yes, free babysitting.
Yes, because they're so used to the kid bothering them that they think it's okay for other people. It's like earlier when your cat was on my counter and by my food, and then like you didn't shoo the cat away, and then you're a cat person, but I'm not, and I was like, if this cat touches my food, I'm squared up with the cat. I'm going in. But
also, I didn't see it until you had already said something.
It's okay. No, I just had to throw you in there. Like, no, but it's an example though. Like, people put their kids off on other people, and it's like, I'm not a kid person. It's another thing when like another mother offers to watch someone else's kids, like when they already have kids, they're used to it, they know what to do.
Yes.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Right.
I don't know idea. I don't know if he's too young to eat a peanut.
Me and that kid, so that kid is looking to me like, entertain me. Play with me, have fun with me, do this with me, and this kid, God love her. I mean, she's a wonderful, wonderful little.
It's not her. She's
not
the problem.
Her.
It's her mother.
It's not her. But she was more of a she's not a kid you could just like leave alone, and
she wants to be entertained.
She wants to hang out with you, and
She's
she wants to,
infant, yeah.
which is fine, but like that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work and a lot of responsibility.
It's like, let's do this, and you can't, yeah. So it's a lot. It was a lot, and but whatever. I'm not super mad about it or anything.
No, it was a lesson learned.
Yeah, it was a lesson learned. Like, be more clear about your expectations and your boundaries.
And lessons like that are learned through experience. So like you had to have that experience so it would never happen again, or if it did, then you would already know the signs moving forward. Like, so it meant to be at the end of the day. It reminds me of last night when that kid at the cool kid, Matthew, super cool kid, when he was showing me the deck, and I said, "Are you allowed to go up to the deck?" He's like, "I am with an adult." I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm not an adult. Look at this, Diet Coke on my feet. I'm not an adult, and I'm not going to be accountable for the kid because I will be held responsible if something happens to the kid, and that is a big burden to bear. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders, and I just met this kid. No, absolutely not. No, we're not going up there. Like, that was funny. It was, we're not going up there. No. Yeah, so I'm responsible. So I gotta jump in. If you fall in this water, it's dark, it's wet. Parents gonna hate me forever.
Yeah,
I just met them. They're very nice people. But yeah, I think accountable means to me everything, absolutely everything. Being accountable changed my life because I was never truly accountable for my mistakes. I only saw my good qualities, and it's so important to see your bad qualities. I always say, I almost say bad. I say unattractive qualities because bad and good I don't like.
You need to be aware of both.
You got to be.
Yeah, I used to not believe in toxic positivity.
Oh,
but I do believe in toxic positivity. You need to be aware of your duality. Everyone has a good and bad side, and if you're constantly pushing away your bad side and just thinking you're
perfect. You're
perfect. Like, which is great. It's great to be confident and to think you're fucking awesome.
There's confidence, and that's delusion, and that is delusion, thinking you're perfect.
It's harmful delusion because maybe in your own little perfect, like your little world, maybe you are perfect, but like you also exist in a world amongst other people, and you got to be part of. You're part of that game. You're part of that game, so you need to be aware of how you're coming across to other people too. If you want to be, if you don't want to be successful in this game, then don't. Keep living in your delulu. But if you want to be successful in this game of life in society, like, you need to be aware of that.
You have to be aware because life is not just right and wrong. We all there's like like I said, percentages to all of us, every situation, every scenario, and I was always like, I had toxic positivity in my life.
Me
gosh,
too. Yeah.
And I don't blame my family. Like, they're loving the shit out of me. Like, they're loving me. But I used to always describe like the perfect man for me, and I was like, and I literally used the word perfect. I was like, I need someone that's perfect. And then people would say back, well, no one is perfect. And I'm like, well, I need someone perfect for me, and I'm perfect. Like, I'm so perfect. I have no flaws. Like, I really don't. And my personality makes up for it. My charisma makes up for it. I'm a taker. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I would let the good qualities of me overshadow the bad, but then that doesn't mean that there's not bad qualities.
Yeah.
Unattractive.
You don't have to dwell on your bad qualities.
Yeah, no.
But be aware of them.
Absolutely.
Just be aware of them.
And a lot of people are not aware. I was not aware for the longest.
As much as you can. You can't be perfect. You never will be perfect. There will always be something for you to work on, and that's okay.
Self-reflect.
It's part of the journey.
It is such a journey.
That's why we're here. We're here to evolve.
That's one of the first things you ever told me is like, it's not right or wrong. It's
we are here to evolve. Like that. People are like, what's the meaning of life?
Break cycles, evolve.
The meaning
of
life
generation.
Is evolution. That's what the universe is doing.
Hello.
It's evolving. It's expanding. It's evolving, and we are part of that, and that's why we're here.
Amen. And yes, and accountability is the word of the day. And then we went and described exactly how we feel about that. And I could go on a whole episode about freaking accountability.
Oh yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. I'm like, we could.
You want to keep going? I mean,
we could.
I've got the definitions of guilt and shame. We can cover this real quick because we need to do our own deep dive on guilt and shame before we really talk about it, because I don't really understand the huge difference in them. Besides, guilt is a feeling you have when you're acting out of alignment with your values. I really like that. because I told you I like to sit back and reflect, and when something bothers me, it's like, why did it bother me? Like, I've had moments where I didn't stand up for
You're
myself.
acting out of alignment with your values, but also like you can be acting in alignment with your values, but someone can guilt you.
The sentence I have written underneath it says, guilt causes you to reflect. It is useful.
So
I must have
like,
found that.
for example, like with like my mother, I value boundaries, and when I act in alignment with that value and I set a boundary with my mother, she can sometimes make me feel guilty.
That was one of the examples too, was family dynamics, like feeling guilty for that, but really it's a codependency, and you're taking that is someone else's feelings that are pushed onto you, and you are digesting them, you are metabolizing them, and it's not really your feelings, it's pushed onto you. It's codependence, and it's really it's kind of grooming, like, in a sense, you know. Yeah,
I'm not so much that way anymore because I've learned.
But
she used to very easily guilt, easily.
I've just started my boundaries with my family. 10 out of 10. That's why I encourage them to my other girlfriends, and not everyone is in a place where they can do that. So I have to remember that, not to be kind and not harsh with them, and meet them on where they're coming to me at, because they could also enact shame, and shame is an uncomfortable feeling of embarrassment or humiliation that can arise when someone perceives they have done something improper, immoral, or dishonorable. And the ways to deal with shame, so like if you are feeling shame, like the ways to deal with it is accepting responsibility, which I love, aka accountable, talking about your feelings, developing empathy, practicing mindfulness. Yeah, I love that, mindfulness. Recognizing when you're feeling shame, and then seeking support, which I love, because I love it says talking about it. Talk about your feelings, get them out, and like not constantly like, don't tell the freaking person at Walmart, greeter at the door, like, your whole life story, please, for the love of God.
You could also talk to ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and honestly, that she plugged a resource. It's a resource. Like,
this is a resource, y'all.
Amanda's best friend.
If you're feeling the type of way and you don't want to talk to someone about it because it's not that big of a deal, but you do want to talk about it, talk to ChatGPT about it.
Amanda swears by ChatGPT, and I trust her for the most part, so it must be great. But we talked about earlier the difference between guilt and shame, and I have that definition right here. While both shame and guilt are negative emotions, I told you it was negative emotions related to wrongdoing, the key difference is that guilt focuses on a specific action or behavior you did wrong, while shame is a deeper feeling about your entire self, making you believe you are fundamentally flawed or unworthy as a person. Essentially, guilt is about what you did, while shame is about who you are. As a result of that action. Yeah, and there's key points to remember. Guilt, linked to a specific action or choice, often motivates you to make amends or apologize, can be a healthy emotion that promotes self-reflection and improvement. And shame feels like a deep sense of being flawed or inadequate as a person, can lead to withdrawal, self-deprecation, and difficulty connecting with others, and may be more damaging to self-esteem than guilt. Yeah, shame's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
It's embarrassment, and then that's when it ties into humiliation. It's in the definition of shame. It ties in with embarrassment or humiliation that can arise when someone perceives they have done something, that's the immoral, dishonorable part.
Yeah.
Yes, that is intense.
That is very intense. That could be its own.
That's what I was doing this morning for fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep diving into therapy. It's important to understand the differences, and it helps when you break down the definition and the differences and truly understanding it, so you can be more accountable in your life to what is the shame, what is the guilt. Break it down. Identify it in the moment.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how can we tie in like accountability and guilt and shame? Like, how do they relate to each other?
I would say because
is it like,
because when you feel guilt, you have to guilt enacts you to self-reflect, and then self-reflection is key to accountability.
Yeah.
Because if something is causing you that guilt or shame,
right,
it doesn't align with your values, and it's wrong.
Right. It's like if you're feeling guilt or shame, it's like take a step back to be accountable for like what part did I play in bringing about this feeling of guilt or shame?
Yeah, and recognize it. Like, oh, this in the moment, like, oh, this I'm feeling something. I feel bad. Oh, this like, what's going on? What scenario am I in right now? Okay, I have a family member over at my house, and they are smoking cigarettes inside my house, and they know that is, like a rule that's unacceptable at my home, and they know that too. I've told them many times. They're still doing it, and I don't want to say anything to them because they're my elder, and you should respect your elders. But then I'm feeling that guilt and shame because I'm letting myself down.
Yeah.
Because who's being made comfortable in a moment like that? Yeah. You're making them comfortable. You're not making yourself comfortable.
Yeah. And your comfort's also very important.
It's so important. It's more important than everyone else's.
Yeah. And you're making yourself not only uncomfortable because that person's smoking in your house and you don't like that, but you're making yourself uncomfortable with the feeling of guilt and shame because you're not setting that boundary with them. So it's like a double whammy.
It makes you resort back to that little girl that had to obey the elder, that couldn't say yes or no, but we're adults. Like I always say, Big Deidra.
Yes.
Big Deidra.
Grown-ass adults.
Grown-ass women. And gorgeous. I digress. But we're grown. This is my house. This is my rules. Why do you want to make me feel uncomfortable? Why are you so comfortable making me feel uncomfortable?
Well, do they know that makes you uncomfortable and they just don't give a fuck? Or are they not really wholly aware that you really don't like that?
They get on the defense. They go from defense to offense. And I haven't approached my family member about this yet. I've been sitting on it because I needed a time to relax and find the answers, find the words.
To do it. Yep. Yeah, tactfully and
I found it. It's called one of my friends put me onto this quote: "Charge it to the head, not the heart." It's not personal. It is facts.
Yeah.
This is not there's no emotion tied to this.
Yeah.
Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
Like people in this house have asthma. Like you're causing an asthma attack. Yeah. They are literally physically like hurting them. You're borderline killing them.
Right.
Like you're breaking the next generation. You're showing them that they don't have to be respectful in other people's homes. That's continuing a cycle. And I had to find a way to approach it. And that's my approach. It was logic. And this is not a discussion. I'm not going back and forth with you. This is never happening again. And I withdrew myself because my presence is a present and not everyone gets that. And when my presence isn't around and someone's used to being around me so often, they will feel my absence. And that family member already has. They've already reached out to me a few times.
Oh
yeah. Like missing me and stuff, and saying and literally said their life is meaningless without me, or something along the lines of that.
My presence is a present. I love that. I've heard that before, but I like that.
Oh, I say it all the time. I love it.
Presence is a present. Isn't that a song lyric?
I don't know, but they better put in the song. If not, I'm gonna copyright it.
Yeah, that's in that one song, the Kanye West song.
Is it? Wow,
it's in a Kanye West song.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that.
My presence is a present. Kiss my ass.
Ah. Love it. Reminds me of one of my other favorite lines. Attitude on fuck you, pay me.
I know Jay-Z's in a little bit of hot water right now, but he was the one who said that lyric.
Oh, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of hot water right now.
He is. Yeah. I hope.
But we digress.
I hope whatever's supposed to happen happens, and that's how I feel about him being in hot water.
Yep.
Because they're saying apparently he groomed Beyonce.
That could be a whole episode.
No, seriously. No, we're going to do a pop culture episode. I love talking pop culture too.
We're going to talk about everything on this podcast, just so you know.
And this episode is about accountability,
you think?
Grief, not grief, guilt. It's just another short G word. Guilt, shame, humiliation, like how those tie into each other and how they bring back to accountability. This is our self-care therapy episode. It was something I was marinating with this morning, and I thought it was important to share with other people because knowledge is power, and it's nice to identify what is causing, emotional irregulation, what's causing, some people break out. Like I was telling you, I literally break out when I'm uncomfortable. My body tells me afterward, and it's so crazy.
I start to, this might sound kind of crazy, but I feel I start losing my beauty.
I totally agree.
I lose my beauty. You can just see it in my face. Like maybe my skin is a little more dull. My hair is a little dull. You can see my face. It's just a little bit more like droopy. Just a little tiny. It's a very subtle.
But it's there.
It's like something is almost like
it's
sucking.
It's
sucking the life force out of me, and my life force is what gives me my beauty. Like
draining the energy. We talk about that often. Someone draining our energy.
Right.
We have.
Vitality is beauty. If you want to be beautiful, you need to have vitality. If you're not taking care of yourself and you're letting things drain you mentally, emotionally and stuff, it's going to be very hard for you to have real true beauty. And you can put makeup on and try to look a certain way, but like if you want real true beauty, it comes from your life force, your vitality.
From within. And because taking care of yourself comes in so many different forms. You can't, like I was talking about like, so people are sober, which I love when people are sober, but just because you are sober doesn't make you a good person. Just because you go to the gym doesn't make you a healthy person. Just because you're skinny doesn't make you healthy. Just because you go to church, like you eat green.
That's why you have to take accountability.
You have to take accountability. If you're in the same situation, if you are estranged from a family member, if your kids don't talk to you, look in the mirror. Ask yourself what you did to get there, because every action
is completely your fault. But you played a part.
Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. You can literally do whatever you want to do in life. We all have free will, but you do not control how I react to what you chose to do. Mm-hmm. You don't get to choose that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love physics. Because it's true. With every action comes an equal or opposite reaction. Everything in life is an exchange of energy, whether it is negative or positive.
Yeah. So you can choose to either go the equal route and fight fire with fire, or do the opposite and fight fire with water.
And I've had to learn to do that, because I would match energy so fast, and that literally gets nowhere. When
I'm a huge I do not fight fire with fire. People, you let people walk over you and stuff. It's like,
you are a sweetheart.
I am, but like it's also coming from a place of like, I'm not going to fight fire with fire.
Oh, that's okay. That's a nice approach.
Okay. I'm not going to get all like angry and like towards you, because I'm trying to fight fire with fire.
You're not an angry person.
And I'm not angry. I get angry sometimes.
You get angry. Oh, yeah, well, you're very controlled with your anger.
I'm very controlled with my anger.
You're very controlled with your anger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, you are. Go you.
You know, because
I
like to be an elegant girly, and us elegant girlies, we control our anger.
And I like that. Okay, I like that. I like that approach, because
you look at royals, like queens, royal people, they control their anger. If they get, they may behead you, but they have someone else do that shit. But they call the shots. But you don't see them. Shit.
They're all calm, cool, and collected.
And they're like your
guillotine. Calm, cool, and collected. That's kind of scary. It's like, what's going on in there? That is scary. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's why I always say I hate being around quiet people. And you're not a quiet person. Like, you're just calm, cool, and collected. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's when I first got to know you. Like, just like very was not introverted, but like you're just kept. You're about your business. You're keeping yourself. But when I really am around real quiet people that just let me talk the whole time and they don't say shit. That terrifies me.
You gotta say something.
No, you gotta say. And what are you doing?
I don't want to talk to a wall.
And I feel like you're just like hyper analyzing me, and like I'm not your entertainment.
It's either you're bored and not listening to me, or you're hyper analyzing.
You're judging me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm judging.
Yeah. Or and one of my sister's friends brought this up. Like, she was always really quiet when I come around. And I was like, yeah, I used to take it personally when people were quiet around me. And she's like, I'm quiet because I'm anxious, because I hate that. She fears being perceived, and she doesn't want to say the wrong thing. And I'm like,
sometimes I'm quiet just because I'm enjoying the vibes. I don't need to say stuff to enjoy the vibes. I'm just there observing, enjoying the vibes, and just being in the present moment. Mm-hmm. But some people, like, they feel like they always need to be saying something. And I think that comes from insecurity a lot of times. You're like, you can tell an insecure person if you're spending time with them and they feel like they can't shut up, because they don't like that. They don't like the quiet because it makes them feel exposed. It makes them feel insecure.
And some people, it's an anxiety thing. I've noticed with me and my over talking and oversharing. I've got to the root of it. How it's molded me from my childhood. But even sometimes now, I'll catch myself and sometimes I get excited and get over talking, but sometimes it's like an anxious over talking. I've gotten better
Yeah, it's
about
like a coping mechanism.
it is totally
Yeah.
a coping mechanism
Yeah.
because you do fear the silence. You fear your
Mhm.
brain going to a bad
Mhm.
place, and like you gotta have your brain positive places to go. So
And also, it's like, I mean, I don't do this, so I don't know exactly, but my theory is that like people also who overtalk because it's a coping mechanism or they're feeling anxiety or something, it's like they're talking so much because to be in silence is like they're leaving themselves vulnerable for you to actually see who they really are and to observe them. And it's like, but if they're chattering the whole time, it's like a distraction. They're like
so it's like manipulation.
They're like trying to. Well, they're trying to distract you. Not consciously. Maybe subconsciously. You think subconsciously?
And sometimes consciously. Sometimes consciously, because there's hustlers, you know, like firefighter douche. Yeah. Like some people, and honestly, man, maybe it was subconscious. Maybe he's like, oh, this is just normal for him.
Maybe.
And that's how embedded that is. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think I don't know. Maybe subconsciously, my theory is that maybe they're just talking because to fill the silence is to escape the vulnerability or to prevent the vulnerability of just like sitting in the quiet with somebody and like connecting with them on an energetic level.
And I wonder if it's like them scared of being around the other person and being vulnerable, or if they're scared about being with themselves and being vulnerable.
Well, that too, yeah, because a lot of people, they don't want to be by themselves. That's why they like constantly distracting themselves with social media, watching TV, or being around codependent relationships because they can't just be by themselves in their own energy and just with their own thoughts.
And you got to be able to be
you
there.
Have to.
You've got to, because that's literally codependency. If you're not full unless you're with other people, that is a codependent relationship.
If you are not able to do that, if you're not able to do that, it's going to be a rough journey for you. A rough journey.
And a lot of people are codependent. And I don't think they even notice it.
No, they don't.
I've
because society wants us to be codependent on so many things.
And everything you need is within.
Mm-hmm.
One of my other favorite songs by Lizzo is like Coconut Oil. It's like, I thought I needed to rush and find somebody to love, but all I needed was some coconut oil. Don't worry about the small things. I know I can do all things. Because coconut oil just nourishes your skin. And you just need some self-care. You think you need a new job. You think you need a new partner. You think you need the newest.
Or you think you need like the fanciest, most expensive lotion. No, just get some coconut oil.
I love coconut oil. I'm a coconut oil stan. That's the only type of lotion I really use.
Olive oil for me. It's olive oil.
Oh yeah, you did say like olive oil.
Love olive. Put it on your face. Take your makeup off.
Shut up.
Take your makeup off with olive oil.
Does it make you oily? Like no. Does it clog your pores?
No.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely not.
All right, chat. We're gonna fact check her.
Do it. I've done it for years. I've taken my makeup off with olive oil.
Your face does look clear and nice. I'm gonna try this.
Well, I mean, that's not the only thing I do, but
so there's more secrets. Maybe you can drop that on an episode. Drop the skincare routine. That'd be nice.
You should. Yeah.
My new facial steamer is amazing.
I love sharing glow up tips and like skincare tips.
And this is a glow up tip too. Like, be accountable.
Be accountable.
It literally starts within.
The inner glow up.
It starts within, and then the outer will come, and then you can work on the superficial parts of the outer, like a good skincare.
Because if you don't have the inners right, and you're just trying to glow up on the outer,
it'll show. You can still see that something is broken within.
Yeah, it's not going to be sustainable.
And you might think people don't notice. They notice.
Yeah.
You might not notice because it's hard. It's so much easier to be on the outside looking in than being within and seeing what's the problems is. Mm-hmm. The problems is.
All right, we're at 34 minutes. Wow.
Good job. Okay, so we'll bring it back in the episode. Because you have places to be, things to do. I've got people to ignore. Where are you at? There you are. Okay. We are ending advice. You got any advice today? Do we have a random act of kindness? I gave my beads to the girl at the bathroom last night. I gave them my beads, so that was nice. And then you do nice things.
I do nice things.
You do nice things often. But what'd you do? Did you do anything yesterday?
Did I do anything yesterday that was a random act of kindness? No.
I'm sure you didn't. You didn't even realize that.
Maybe.
We literally had to ask AI earlier what the randomized kindness is. Shout out to AI. What it was. And then like you do all those things on a regular basis. So we just gotta remember.
No, I just gotta remember them.
And you can be conscious of this and like be really like thinking about it until our next podcast episode, which will be in like at least another week. Yeah. So 7 days. You have at least one day where you do something purpose. Okay. Maybe the trash can is like falls over outside and you pick it up.
That is something I do. I pick up litter.
Yes, you do.
That's just
Chat, she is a good person. She is a good person. She really is. She really is.
I swear I'm a good person and I do
she
kind
is.
things.
That's why it's so hard for her to find one because she's constantly doing good things.
That's right. Let's go with that.
But okay, so that's our random act of kindness for the episode. End of episode advice.
What's your advice? What's your closing advice?
What is my closing advice? My closing advice. I had it. Okay. Intentionally set aside some time to self-reflect. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. Don't overthink it. Mm-hmm. If you are constantly, and this is coming from someone who would constantly be in a room full of people. I thrive around people. Mm-hmm. But that's also because I'm an entertainer and it's kind of a mask. I would that was a coping mechanism for me, and that was a codependency. Mm-hmm. Because you think it's just relationships. It's not. It's not. It could be on to any level. That's why I never considered myself codependent. So I never looked up the definition and deep dived into it because I'm not codependent. I'm not. I'm so single. I'm so independent. I just do everything on my own. It comes in many forms. Yeah, it does. If you don't take some time alone, you will never realize. You really never know yourself, and you're an amazing person, and you deserve to be able to know yourself inside and out. Mm-hmm. That's my end of episode advice. Do you have any other end of episode
advice? It's going back to the accountability thing. If there is something that you want to be, something you want to do, you want to have, and you don't have it, take accountability for why you don't have it.
That part.
Oh my gosh. I have so many women especially. Women look at me, and I know it. They don't necessarily always say something, but I can tell. I can tell when someone has the evil eye on me. And they look at me, and they're like, must be so nice to be so beautiful or so whatever. And it's like, take accountability for why you're not that way, because you could be that way.
Hello.
You could be that way.
Hello.
So take accountability for that. And what are you doing that's preventing you from being that way? What could you be doing that will get you to be that way?
And we talked about that because we were talking about how your grandparents talk to you sometimes about how they think you're uppity and prissy. That's why you dress up. Mm-hmm. And it could come off vain too. Like, oh, she's so vain. She needs the makeup. No, you like to feel good. And this is you at your best self. And you you don't walk out in the world unprepared. You are always ready. Stay ready. You don't got to get ready. You want a photo? You're ready. We're always ready.
Yes.
Always ready. Yeah. Cause, I remember even me and you, when we were talking about like makeup and no makeup, I thought I approached no makeup like, it's important to embrace my natural face because it's an anxiety thing. Like I always want to like be able to love my true, like my true raw self. Mm-hmm. And you view it like no one does. Like it's a privilege to see my bare face. Mm-hmm. Not everyone gets that privilege, and like that's such a cool perspective because I would never known that unless we shared that moment. Mm-hmm. Because it's not all about other people and them thinking you're all that and it's easy. No, you do this to make yourself feel good. It has nothing to do with other people. It has nothing to do with the outside world. It's about the person in the mirror.
That's how I want to live my life.
Yeah, feeling 100%. We aim for 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. But, aim for the moon when we fall upon the stars. So if we aim for 100% of the time, then we'll end up with like 80, 70. Yeah. Upper, above the 50% line.
Mm-hmm, that's right. That's what you want.
But thank you all for joining us for the Say Please podcast. This is episode 5 of first episode of.
No, this is episode 6.
Episode 6?
Mm-hmm. We just posted episode 4.
Okay, and we recorded episode 5 last night. Okay, we recorded episode 5. It's been so long because it was last year. We recorded it. I know. Slapper. Yeah, and this is our first one of 2025. God, we're
this is our first one we're recording.
Or our first one we're recording.
This one will be the second one we posted in 2025.
Yes.
No, it'll be the third one we posted in 2025. Because we posted episode 4 today.
Look at us, we're on it already.
Look at it. We have episodes coming. We have them coming. So please stay tuned.
Because it's important to us, so we pour into what's important to us, and that goes to every aspect of your life. If you are looking for a girlfriend, husband, and you keep finding the same type of spouse, type of partner, look in the mirror.
Yep.
You're attracting people on the same level as you. It's your fault. Yeah. If you don't have a relationship with your kids and it's been many years and you keep trying the same thing over and over again, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing, expecting a different result.
Oof.
Try differently.
Yep.
Look in the mirror.
Yep.
If work sucks, if they're out to get you, but then you come in late and you smell like weed, and you make TikToks at work all day and you get 18 write-ups at Olive Garden, then it's your fault too. You play a part. So look in the mirror. Being accountable is super important, and it will change your life. It's changed my life. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
And also remember that if at first remember,
ask and you shall receive. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. But say please. I hope you found a gem, and if you didn't, then listen again. Thank y'all for being with us, and happy 2020.
Happy 2025.
I keep wanting to say 2024. Have a great day. Have the day you deserve.
Close your eyes and see.